Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Did you miss me for the 2 hours or whatever I was gone? So I originally said we weren't going to be doing a bonus stream today, but I find myself having some downtime, so we might as well do one. There's still a lot of work to do for the playtest build. And yeah, we'll just get through as much as possible. Maybe we'll do some fun stuff, add some new content. I don't really know. It's going to be a little bit of a freewheeling stream. There are a couple of things that I want to get done in here. They're very small things. Got to fix this notoriety penalty issue. Got to fix this obelisk issue. I want to play around with increasing the player light radius in the shader that happens around the player. So yeah, we'll do something like that. And yeah, we'll mostly just skip the ads for today. I don't want to go through my whole spiel, but if you are interested in supporting me, all of the ways you could do so are linked in the description below. There's the Patreon, there's my Steam page for Alchemortis, and there's a Discord server as well if you'd like to join that. Would love to have you there. Anyway, hello V, welcome back. The lies in this community, I know, I apologize for lying to you all. I promise that every time I lie to you all, it will be a good lie. It'll be a lie that ends up in a good result for you when it turns out to be a lie. So that is my promise to you, my dedicated viewers. Meow, meow. Hello, Tempura Cat Games. Very on brand. Hello, Kinyaz. Welcome back. We are watching a Firebelly stream today. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm not watching it. I'm producing it, but... hello, Clickertail. Welcome back. Good to see you. All right, so let's start off with... We want to fix this notoriety penalty from blessing trigger system. So let me figure out why that's happening. Oh, and I also think I probably left this up on accident, so I'll have to change that back. But trigger configuration, we are going to do increased notoriety penalty map effect. What is that? Oh. So we're going to have to see why this isn't working, but let's go ahead and just do this. And we'll run the game. I'm here as well, but I'm playing Breath of Fire 3 on the side, if that's okay with you. Whatever you want to do. You could throw my voice on in the background while you're doing whatever activities you see fit, and that's totally fine by me. Totally fine. What if it's not okay with me? Okay. So unfortunately, I didn't really pay attention to what was happening. Notoriety penalty increased by 3, 6. So that'll be 15. Oh, I keep forgetting to... Hold on a second. Grant the eyeball card. Okay, so this is 6. So this should go to 9 after I beat this combat. I lost? What do you mean I lost? Okay, let's just restart. I need to pay attention to what the notoriety penalty is before I move on. Okay, so if I go here, this is 4, this is 6, and this is 6. Okay, so 4, 6, 6. So we'll grab an artifact. Grab that. Okay, so that still says 6, and it's actually not increasing the notoriety penalty at all. So I wonder why that's happening. So let me go where this modify wanted level is used. Find all references. Modify wanted level. Ah. I don't want to do of type here. I just want to aggregate modify wanted level. Might as well fix that too. Okay, so that should fix that. Yeah, so I added a modify wanted level. Actually, I don't even know. Do I need that floating eye penalty anymore? Floating eye penalty map node effect. Where is this referenced? Map node tooltip. Has map node effect of type. Because this ends up just being... I might want to merge those because that just ends up being the increased notoriety penalty map node effect. So what I might do is I might do this public bool show tooltip warning. And then what I'll do for this floating eye map effect, we're going to do new penalty is 4. So we're going to do new increase notoriety penalty map node effect. We'll do 4, and then we're going to say show tooltip warning equals true. Update map node effects for I. That one is going to be a little bit tricky. Okay, I'm going to rename this to show floating eye warning. This remove first map node effect of type. So we're going to have to update this as well. Public static void remove map node effect. We're going to do action bool condition. And we'll pass in the map node effect context. Okay. Oh, this needs to be a func. There we go. Actually, this should be remove first map node effect with condition. Let's have this rewrite this. First or default condition, there we go. Okay, that should work. And then in my floating eye, so that we're going to do map node effects manager. Dot remove first map node effect with condition. And we're going to do map node effect. Return map node effect is increased notoriety penalty. Map node effect. Map node effect dot map node effect. Okay, so this is actually the context. And increased show floating eye warning is equal to true. Actually, we don't need to do equal to true. We can just do that. Okay, we'll get rid of this. So now this floating eye penalty here, disable notoriety penalty. I think I need to do the same thing here. Yeah. Kind of going on a little bit of a detour here, but that's fine. Has map node effect with condition. Map node context. Wait a minute. Yeah. Map node effect context. If context map node effect is increased notoriety effect and return context. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'm basically just trying to remove this floating eye penalty effect. Disable notoriety penalty. I think this is just going to be the same thing. I think this is coming from the floating eye manager, or maybe it's not. Oh wait, disable notoriety. I actually don't know if that's going to be the same logic here. I guess so. If it notoriety penalty visible floating eye map effect. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That is fine. So yeah, where else are we using this floating eye penalty map node effect? Okay, so we're not using it anywhere, so now I can do floating eye map node effect, delete this. Okay, I think, I just saved it again. Remove, okay. Alrighty, so I've just merged, because that floating eye penalty map node effect was basically just an increased notoriety penalty. So I just used the more generic version. And now we can test this. Just 5 more minutes, Mom, yeah. Hello, generic gun. Let's make this small change, yeah. Hello, Shirley. Does say that a lot, just 5 more minutes, oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, this is not working now. Son of a biscuit. Okay. Alright. Well, we might as well check if the triggers are working, but I broke the floating eyes. Okay. Well, this was not a small change. That's okay. We'll fix it. Son of a bee, here we go again, yeah. Hello, Mr. Ahal. Mr. Ahal. I've been putting your archive streams in the background while working for some time now. This is the first time I'm catching a live stream. Well, welcome. Glad to have you. So I just want to say I'm always impressed by your consistency. The game's looking great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, welcome again. Thank you, A the Ant, for the $2 super chat. Very much appreciate that with yummers backwards. Thank you, A the Ant. That's very much appreciated. And always good to see you as well. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, that looks more appropriate. So that one's, oh, that one's 8 too. Why is that 8? Oh gosh. But I guess this should turn into 11. Archangel Melzahel. So this should turn into 11. Yeah, cool. So that one works. We got to figure out why the floating eyes don't work anymore. So this one is fine. So I can put all these back. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to put the trigger node functionality back. Okay. All right. So the floating eye manager. Why did that break? It's probably due to the map node tooltip. Let's see. Notoriety penalty label. Yeah, so this notoriety penalty label.visible has map node effect with condition. Is increased notoriety penalty map node effect and show floating eye warning. So for some reason that's not working. Why isn't that working? My computer is broken, so I'm having to borrow one. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not fun. Now, why isn't this working? Oh, maybe it's related to, it might not even be a problem. Maybe it's related to, oh, this might actually be a bug, another bug that I need to fix. It might be related to this debug fog reveal radius. Although I don't think so, because it shouldn't be, well, let's see. I don't think that's going to be the case. No, it's just not working. So why in the heck is that not working? Apply map node effect. Update map node effects. Yeah, why is that not? Okay, I don't understand. Okay, we're just gonna do, Floating eye manager. Update map node effects for eye. Apply map node effect. Show floating eye warning. Affected nodes. So floating eye manager, where is affected nodes being used? All right, I guess we'll just put a breakpoint here and launch this. Oh, I thought this was going to be an easy change. Why is it not working? So it's applying this map node effect. Emit signal map node effect applied. On map node effect applied. Has modifier effects. Has blessing effects. Okay. I don't understand. Let's go to the map. Let's go to the map node, map tooltip. Disable notoriety penalty. So I guess we'll just go here. Did I do this wrong? Context map node, increased notoriety penalty, and show floating eye warning. Oh, you know what? I bet I know what it is. Oh, maybe not. I thought maybe there was like a duplication function in here. I'm kind of baffled. I don't really know why that stopped working. But I suppose we'll do that and then we'll find an eyeball. Can I copy and paste this? Is this going to work? False. It doesn't detect any map node effects. Get rid of that one. It's not adding any. It's not adding any. Apply map node effect. It's not applying any map node effects. Why is that not working? I barely changed anything. Oh, goodness. This is not good. Come here. Map node effect, show floating eye, warning bool, true. So if I do remove first map node effect of type. Oh, this is... Wait a minute. Hi, Sharima. Is this wrong? Oh, I think I just did this wrong. I need to pass node in here. It was just removing it from everything, I think. Okay, that should fix it. I just did that completely wrong, that's all. So I think what was happening is it was just removing all of those from the array and not just from the specific node that was affected. Yeah, there we go. Notoriety penalty increased by 4. Okay. All right, we're good to go now. Okay. Consolidate and fix notoriety level map node effects. All right, that's done. Goodbye. Start node can be transformed by obelisk. Let's fix that one. So let's go to the obelisk configuration. Animated map node changes actually might be the more appropriate one. Here we go. Node event type is not equal to checkpoint. Interesting. Oh, is it the trigger system or is the obelisk? Oh, the obelisk is changing the start node. Interesting. So I have this filtered out though. Nodes to change, nodes in pixel radius, node event type is not equal to obelisk, not equal to checkpoint, and not equal to start. Oh, this is transforming into cleared instead of start. What? Why is that happening? Oh, so this is actually not the start node. Okay, when did that change? Set visited, find all references. Set visited. Change type event type dot visited. Why is this here? Do I even need that? Is visited. Okay, I think I'm just going to change this. I'm going to look at my file history here actually, because I think I recently changed this. Maybe I didn't. This is over a month ago, so maybe that's been a long-running problem, but we don't want to set visited here. I don't know why that was the case. I obviously had it in place for some reason, but we're just going to go ahead and tear down that fence. Okay. Start. So the start node is, yeah. Maybe I'll do a different... Now I wonder how that works with the... Okay, so maybe I should do a different icon for the start. That would be maybe useful. Maybe we can do that. Let's see how easy that would be. Then I also want to test before I forget how that works with the cloak artifact. So if I enable test player artifacts, why is that down here? Why does Godot keep reorganizing these for me? Okay, anyway, cloak. Not sure if likely we could run into an edge case where you have two notoriety effects, one with show eyeball true and the other false, and your removal just by type would remove either one. I'm checking for the true flag as well. So that's why I introduced the remove map node type by conditional. So I could check, okay, if it's the increased notoriety penalty and it has this flag set to true. So I'll remove that one. And I don't care which instance of the notoriety penalty it removes as long as that flag is true, because if an eyeball is floating over a node and there's another eyeball floating over a node, those will add two different instances that are basically the same thing. And so when one eyeball moves away, I don't really care which map node effect gets removed, it just has to be one of those, right? So that's why I had to introduce the conditional. Okay, so that works. So the cloak works with the start now. It makes that 0 as well. Cool, that's what I wanted to check. I think that's probably okay. But I may actually just go on a slight detour here and do a start icon here. So I kind of started with this, but I honestly don't like this approach because it's a little bit too big. And I just want it to be some kind of start. So I think what I'll do is maybe I'll do like a little summoning portal kind of thing. I think that would look nice. It's just a little bit of extra detail, you know? Doesn't have to be super fancy. Oops. There we go. Something like that. Okay. I think we're basically good with this. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we can just add some highlights here and there. I think that'll work. Is this centered? I don't think it is. Now it should be. What is this? Oh, I can't see the dimensions. 4 and 3. I guess it's not exactly centered. Did I do this all wrong? 4, 3. Well, that's unfortunate. I think it's okay though. It'll be fine. All right. Map icon start, export, and then we go to our start here. We could change this icon. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Doesn't have to be super fancy. Just looks a little bit nicer, I suppose. Okay. Fix start node becoming cleared and add start node art. Cool. What color, excluding grays and browns, would you say is perfectly okay? I don't know how to answer that question. Black? I don't know what perfectly okay would be with respect to a color. Obviously purple, yeah. All right, so I think we're good with that. I'm gonna actually update this, remove this, bring this one over, lock that, lock that. Okay. Cool. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to increase the player light radius in the shader. So I think this might help with people saying the game is a little bit too dark. I mean, most people haven't really said that when they've played the game, but I do think that there's an opportunity here to increase the light radius. So I'm actually going to do that. I actually don't know where that is. So game UI, nope. Run manager, game map, light canvas layer. Light rect, shader material, inner radius, radius. Yeah, So let's actually do inner radius. Let me see something. Project settings, we're going to increase this debug fog reveal radius. And we're going to, like, decently fine. Purple is great. When I watch the vids, it's pretty dark, but I watch them on a laptop with a backlight set to half or so. Yeah, I think, yeah, usually it's a combination, or I suspect it's a combination of the YouTube video slightly compressing the colors or changing the colors. And also, if you're watching on like a laptop or a mobile device, the backlight option. I'm still probably going to add some accessibility options to increase the contrast and brightness of the game for the people that want it. Because if you are playing on like a mobile device or something and you want to conserve battery, that would be a good option as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I think I just need to update this light rect here. Let's just do 128 here and 256 there. Let's see what kind of difference that makes. I think that's actually much better. So the nodes that are like sort of on your screen are going to be lit up. So you can see that these are a lot brighter, generally speaking. But as I move away, they get dark again. Yeah, so you can see like this one out here is not lit up. And then this light radius here is a little bit higher as well. Yeah, I think that works. Maybe I'll turn it down just a little bit. So this inner radius, let's do 96, and then this one, 192. We'll turn it down just a bit. So it's going to be bigger than it was, but it should be... Yeah. So generally speaking, I think any node that is visitable within a couple hops should be lit up. Yeah, I think that looks better. So it's not so big, but it's bigger than it was before. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. Watching a laptop, but I have it set to max brightness. You're gonna burn your eyes out. Okay. Update. Player light radius. I think that looks just generally better. That actually does go a long way to brightening up the game, just from your own perception, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but... Wonder what happens. What if I set these to be the same radius? Would it be too much? Yeah, probably a little bit too much. So I'll bump this back down. Okay. We'll keep it as is. Cool, cool, cool. I only burn my eyes out of my screen. One of my screen turns fully white, but otherwise I'm fine. That's good. Okay, so we increase the player light radius. Okay, add a hotkey for the alchemy drawer. Let's do that one, because that one should be relatively easy to do. And I think it would be useful. High brightness does allow me to see darker stuff better and see details a lot better as well. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so add hotkey. Anyone have any suggestions for what hotkey you would like to be the alchemy drawer? So for context, if you want to open the inventory, you can hit tab, and that opens it up. And actually, I don't know if this works. Okay. So, yeah, so should be a hotkey to open up the alchemy as well. So this is just the inventory, this is the alchemy. What I could do is... So the reason why they are two buttons, actually, you know what I could do? Maybe I could just make tab open both of them. I can make tab open both of them. The reason why there are two tabs to begin with is because you can open the alchemy at any point. So if I open up the alchemy here, that's going to cover whatever's on the right-hand side of the screen. And so if I'm in my upgrade here, it's not such a big deal here, but when I go into combat, the inventory gets locked open. It gets forced open because there's no sense in being able to close your inventory here. But if I wanted to open the alchemy, that is going to obscure the combat board here. So the alchemy needs to be on a separate tab so you can toggle this independently of the inventory. But I think I could just use the same hotkey, because I think what you'd probably want to do is, when you're in a situation where you can toggle the inventory anyway, you probably just want to open up both the alchemy and inventory at the same time. So it wouldn't hurt to make tab just open both of these at once, and that actually does look a lot nicer because it fills out this side of the screen as well. And then when you're in an event, tab can just toggle the alchemy. I think that's probably the way to do it. I don't think it makes sense to do a separate whatchamacallit. Now, furthering that idea, I might be able to just get rid of both of these buttons then. So I could make this button open the alchemy and the inventory at the same time when you're on the overworld. But then when you're forced into combat, for instance, uh-oh, that's not good. Uh-oh, that's a bug. Releasing, click on a node that is not visitable, locks the camera. Or starts panning the camera. Fudge. I'm so sick of dealing with input issues, but yeah, let's see what y'all are saying. Those horrible white mode only pages always feel like that screen in Raiders of the Lost Ark, yeah, or that scene, yeah. Gonna work on my tutorial, wish me luck. Good luck. Good luck. Hello, Jack, welcome back. Good to see you. I'm a dark mode user. I think inventory could also be E since tab feels wrong, and for alchemy A. Well, tab is like standard for opening inventory in games. I've never seen E used to use the inventory except in Minecraft, I think. Tab for both sounds good, yeah. Hello, Blair William. Is that a fat rat? Oh, this one here? This is a bat head. But I don't know if you were referring to that specifically. The bigger one. On your board now. Oh, this. This is a Nautilus cup. I don't blame you for not knowing what it is. I mean, I guess that could be like a rat head or like a hippo or some kind of exotic creature. But this is a Nautilus cup. And the Nautilus cup is actually super, super cool if you guys haven't seen this. They are cups made out of Nautilus shells. So I was kind of trying to borrow, or I was kind of trying to get this theme across. It's kind of hard because I don't have a lot of, well, it's kind of hard because I didn't do a very good job, I don't think. But also, it's hard to get like the metallic on there. But yeah, it's a Nautilus cup. Yeah, having a cup made out of a Nautilus shell is just metal. I'm in favor of being relatively intuitive, so it depends on your other hotkeys, either 2 times tab or I for inventory, P for potions. Yeah, I think tab is like the only hotkey I have. Tab and spacebar, I think. It's actually cool. Yeah, it is cool. I like it. So yeah, we'll do that. Now I'm wondering, should I also just make one single button? So instead of having this toggle alchemy drawer here, we just open the inventory, that opens the alchemy. And then if I go into an event, that button can stay there and it just toggles the alchemy on and off instead. Maybe I'll do that. What do you guys think about that? I don't think, maybe I don't even need 2 different drawer buttons here. It's cool, although the sprite was a banner. Oh. Yeah, maybe I gotta revisit that. It's hard to do, it's hard to draw. I might be able to merge these down into one button. Is there ever a situation where I'd want to independently toggle the alchemy? I mean, the alchemy, when you open it up, opens the inventory anyway. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. I think simplifying the inventory makes sense. Yeah, I agree. Because I'm actually, when I play the game, I'm always finding myself like wanting to open alchemy, but I click inventory first and then I got to click alchemy. Both those things should just pop up. Like there's no reason to have the user individually toggle them. They can just be individually toggled in a context aware manner. So yeah, we'll just do that. We'll just do that. Maybe I'll use this mortar and pestle as the icon for the inventory button as well. Okay. Well, that's going to require some changes, that's for sure. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, and then when I come back, we are going to do these UI changes here. And then that means I'm also going to have to update the tutorial. Again, son of a biscuit. All right, anyway, we'll get to it, but give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back and we'll continue on. All right, I'm back. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here comes the cat. Whoa. Whoa, cat. Whoa. Who wants to see the cat? He's making an appearance on every stream now. Ah. Yeah. He loves being manhandled. He just loves it. Strange cat. Anyway, do you like being manhandled? Do you like it? He's purring right now. Ridiculous. Cat in a box. Hello, Emerson. Welcome back. Good to see you. Looking. I always try to do Twitch emotes. Meow. Cat. Cute kitty. Yeah, he's very cute. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I don't know how to read your name, but welcome, welcome. I don't think you've been here before. Hello, Chris. Good afternoon. How you doing? Okay, so merge alchemy and inventory button into one. Great. This is going to be a little bit of a nightmare. This is going to be a little bit of a nightmare. A minor nightmare, so to speak. So I think I just go to the player inventory here. Nope, that's not where I go. Here we go. So we've got the alchemy toggle button. Okay, so we're basically just going to delete this outright. The inventory toggle button here. We are going to change this. Icon texture. Wait a minute. Yeah, let's copy this. I'm going to use this icon because I think it's just better than this bag anyway. So we paste that there. Actually, I don't even need to. Well, that's fine. What I might do though is I might go in here and I might change this icon to be the bag or the mortar and pestle, just so I could see that there. Okay, so there's our inventory toggle button. So we're getting rid of the alchemy toggle button now. So the first thing I like to do when I'm doing this stuff is I just like to delete the thing that I know I'm not going to have anymore. And then that can kind of inform what I need to change. So we get rid of enable alchemy button here. Close alchemy. So inventory toggle button set active false. Okay. Alchemy toggle button pressed, inventory toggle button. So we're going to need to not hide the inventory toggle button when we go into an event. So where is that happening? Hide inventory button. Okay, so this, where is this being called? Expand for event. If is force expanded, if is inventory toggle button visible. So we can actually get rid of this flag because it's always going to be visible now. So we get rid of that. This hide inventory button. Actually, I think I can just get rid of this. Mouse filter ignore. We don't need to animate that out anymore. So we'll get rid of that. Show inventory button. This is no longer going to be necessary, I don't think. This can go away. Show inventory button, inventory toggle button visible. Maybe we could just get rid of this. Well, where is this used? Is this used for the tutorial? It's not. Okay, so we can get rid of this. So, but I am going to need to handle this. So, on inventory, where am I even connecting to this? Inventory toggle button pressed on. Oh, okay, this needs to be on inventory toggle button pressed. If not, is drawer expanded. Else if can close alchemy. Is drawer expanded. And not is force expanded. So is force expanded gets set when I'm expanding it for an event. Get rid of that. So if I am opening this drawer with an event in view, so that's after you visit a node, we're going to set this is force expanded. And so when I try to click on the button, on inventory toggle button pressed, it's only going to be able to close the drawer if it's not expanded. Okay, so now when I click on this, we want to expand for event. This should, if not is force expanded, we should be opening the alchemy as well. Why can't I do this? Why is there no open alchemy? Alchemy drawer.expand. Okay, on alchemy button pressed. So this is going to go away now. So let's go ahead and show overlay. Is overlay visible? Okay, so let's do this. Create an open alchemy. Can't open alchemy. Let's just do private bool open alchemy. No, not private bool, private void. We no longer have this. I think this can all go away. So on inventory toggle button pressed, and close alchemy. I wonder if I should do... So this can open alchemy. Where is this being used? This is actually going to simplify a lot of the logic too, I think. Oh, can open alchemy is not being used anymore. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to say toggle alchemy. Can close alchemy. Wait a minute. Can open alchemy. That's gone. Expand for event. If not is force expanded. Wait a minute. Toggle alchemy. Let's just rename this to open alchemy. So if we're pressing the inventory toggle button and the drawer is not expanded and it's not force expanded, we're going to expand for event, which is going to open the alchemy as well. Okay, but we also have to handle the situation where is drawer expanded? Let's rename this to is inventory drawer expanded. If is inventory drawer expanded and not is force expanded. So we're going to open that. We're going to open the alchemy. So if we are force expanded, this is going to fail. We're going to check if we can close the alchemy. So we're going to do else if, did I leave can open alchemy in? I didn't. So maybe I'll put that back. Can open alchemy. Put that back there. And then down here, if can open alchemy, open alchemy. Collapse here, close alchemy. Okay. I feel like this logic is still a little bit weird, but let's just see what happens. Oh, and I've got to fix all these places. So get rid of enable alchemy button, inventory toggle button, open the inventory to begin crafting. Inventory toggle button. Okay, that should fix that. Let's build this again. Okay, let's see how badly my logic failed here. So if I press tab, it opens up everything. If I press tab again, it closes. If I have stuff in the alchemy drawer, it's not going to work. If I have alchemy outputs, it's not going to work. If I take this out, I can do this. Okay, so now we got to test the event here. So tab is not working. This inventory is not being set as active, and I can close it as well when I click it. So we don't want that to happen. So when it's in the event, that's the big problem now. So I really have a couple of, I'm just going to do this in a very naive, straightforward way because it's going to be easier to reason about. So we're going to do if is force expanded. What we're going to do is we're going to say if can open alchemy, open it. If we can close it, we're going to close it. And if it can't be closed, then we'll show errors. Okay. So that's the one path where force expanded. The other path is if not is inventory drawer expanded. So we can do an else here. We are going to open it up. We're going to need two different things. If yeah, we're going to open it up. Else. We're going to copy all this again. Is that going to be right? So I got a little bit of duplicate code, but I think this is easier to reason about. So this problem here, this collapse, emit inventory closed. So that actually shouldn't be the case. If it's force, we just want to do close alchemy, and we don't want that. Guess we'll just do the sound effects here as well. Okay, it's a little bit nutty logically, but So tab is not working, but I think I might have some extra conditionals there. But anyway, if I do this, can't close. Okay, I can close here. So if I do this, if I put this over here, put this over here, put this over here, and then click this, open, it gets dismissed, open this. Just trying to break it as much as possible. Okay, so there's the problem of if this is open when we go into an event. So that's the last thing that I really need to fix. So wherever I'm setting set inventory inventory toggle button dot set active, not as force expanded, or alchemy drawer dot is expanded. I think that's really the only thing. It was just not preserving that active flag. So if I go here and then I expand while I'm traveling, that should remain active until I close it, and then we're good to go. So let's fix tab not making that work. Input, if is force expanded or is mouse ignored. I don't think we need to do this. I think I can just get rid of this because I'm already handling all the logic in that signal handler. So I should be able to just remove those conditions in that input, and I can just continue to use tab to close things. Yeah. So tab will just open that up for me. And if I skip and I close this, it's going to still force close, which maybe I don't need to do anymore, but yeah, I think it's working. So despite the logic being a little bit wonky, I think it's working. Can I help you? Can I help you? Cat? Okay, I actually think that feels a lot better. So we have fewer buttons. You always open the alchemy when you're not in an event. That makes sense. It fills out the screen a lot nicer. But when I am in an event, this gets force expanded, but I can still open up the alchemy independently. And so that works great. Now, as far as what I could do is I could detect if I have that open and just not close it. So I can actually fix that right now. But first, let's go ahead and commit this. Well, I should probably test the tutorial first, because I did make some changes there. I'm back. What did I miss? I made the inventory and alchemy buttons the same button. So I got rid of the alchemy button on the left-hand side here, and now it's just all merged into one. I think that's a lot nicer to use. There was no reason to have two buttons, I don't think. Oh, so now it's not, it hasn't shown that. Why can't I enable the inventory button now? Where did that go? Azir, stop. Inventory toggle button. So I guess what I need to do is I just need to do like a enable inventory button. Enable inventory button. And then in here, tutorial context, drawer UI, enable inventory button. Okay, let's try that. Definitely E for inventory. I think it makes sense to force close both when leaving an event as well as force closing alchemy when entering an event. Yeah, maybe. I mean, the thing is, like, the player may, like, want to do some alchemy or have alchemy ready to go when they're... I think the less I can automatically close drawers and stuff, the better it's going to be. So if, like, I will automatically manage the drawers if the drawers are being automatically managed, but if I detect that the player has opened a drawer themselves, then I should just leave it open, I think. So like here, I take this and I open this. To automatically close that feels a little bit weird, but maybe I won't change it just yet. You guys playing Hightail? I was thinking about getting it, but fewer buttons equals more accessibility. Yeah, I think so. People will see it was relevant when a transition occurs. I think that's the reason why I was initially doing the drawer management automatically, but it can be a little bit annoying. I just want to make sure this tutorial continues to work, that's all. And that's going to send me right back into the tutorial. Okay. Oh, actually, there's one thing I want to check too with the tutorial. See what you're saying? Maybe don't close it if the player's interacting with something on the menu. Yeah, that's the other option, is like, don't advance until the player closes the inventory, but that might be a little bit unintuitive as well. You might be like, wait, how do I continue? And you close it or something. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. We'll see, but I think that change is a lot better. So we'll get rid of enable tutorial, project settings. We'll also turn this back down to 0. So I open this and that will automatically close. Yeah, I'll have to think about that some more, I guess. I'll have to think about that some more. Maybe add a leave button to exit an event. Well, that's the other thing, is I just don't want to add extra clicks that you have to do, because this game is already very click heavy with dragging cards and everything. And just adding friction where there doesn't necessarily need to be friction as another consideration that I'm trying to make. So, I mean, there's a number of solutions to it. It's mostly like, what is going to be the most elegant and also intuitive solution? I just don't want to have the players have to click like multiple times to leave an event or to do their inventory operations. Try to reduce the clicks as much as possible. But yeah, I think this is working great. Ooh, Alcahest. Nice. I'm not even really playing, I'm just kind of clicking around. But I do think that change is good. I think that that change is, yeah, a lot more streamlined. It makes more sense. I don't have to, because like I said, when I'm doing my playtesting, I'll want to open the alchemy and I'll click the inventory first and be like, oh, I got to click the alchemy now to open it. So yeah, now that those are merged, I think that that's fine. Slay the Spire, there's an exit button after rooms, and personally I don't find it cumbersome. Yeah, but Slay the Spire is a different game. I know that games do that. It's just like, I don't necessarily need to copy that. I could find a different way to do it for my game. Maybe I will end up doing that, I don't know, but it's just like, yeah, it's not... I don't think I need to have an exit button. I think I can just like intuitively implement it in some way. But I'll have to think about it some more. I'm getting destroyed. Yeah. Yeah, so I think, let me think. Yeah, I could just make it like once you dismiss your inventory, it advances. So if you've got that up, so if I go here, I mean, maybe not, because you can't, like, this just auto advances. So if I open this up, maybe I could pause the advance until you're done, but I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. We'll figure it out. But anyway, I think that this change is done. So merge inventory and alchemy buttons. I think I should do this as well. Add clickable recenter button, camera button to map. Should probably do that before the playtest as well. So anyway, hotkey for alchemy drawer is done. Merge alchemy and inventory button is done. Cool. I think that's a very good change. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that. What else? Do I want to figure out how to do this one? Clicking and releasing click on a node that is not visible starts panning the camera. I wonder if I could fix this. Let's see. That might be an easy fix, because I think what's happening is, so the camera panning, it works by detecting if you've clicked and dragged. So that's working on click down. And these nodes are set to pass, so, but they only activate on release click. So if I click on something that I can't visit, that detects the mouse down, but then it also detects the mouse up and that intercepts it. So maybe I just don't... Let me think about this. So I need that initial click down to pass through so that the camera control will work, the mouse click and drag. But the problem is that... Accept event. I wonder... Oh, it's probably an issue with the ones I can actually click to. I may just do this. Export private bool accept event on invalid. Click. That was kind of a stopgap solution, but I think that would work. So if I go to my map node tooltip here, no, map node, I could turn this off, and then in my game map container, so I wonder if that would work. So the problem is I was accepting the mouse release event, but that was interfering with the camera. So this is working now, and if I click this, the camera doesn't move. Okay. I think that's all right. I think that's okay. All right. That fixes it. I'm not entirely in love with that solution, but it's a very narrow fix for a very narrow circumstance, so we'll just roll with that. Have you figured out the price tag of Alcamortis? What variables go into that thought? Yeah, I have a number in mind, but I'm not gonna reveal it because I don't want to set expectations too low or too high. So I'll nail down the final number when I get closer to release. But the factors that go into consideration, so what are the prices of the similar games in the genre? How much content is there? How much playtime would I expect a person to be able to get out of Alcamortis before getting bored of it? All those kinds of things are considerations. And of course, like not pricing it too high so that people get turned off, but also not pricing it too low that if I sell a bunch of copies, I don't make as money as I could, right? So it's a lot of guesswork, but I have a number in mind, and if the game ends up being the way that I think it's going to be and the way I want it to be, then I'll feel more confident in that number. But yeah, it's a lot of guesswork. It's a lot of judgment calls, market research, etc. Okay, so I think that's good. We can mark that as done. Alrighty. Cool. Well, I've got somewhere to be relatively shortly, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. So it's a little bit of a shorter stream, but still did an hour and a half or so. Got a lot done. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for being here. Again, all the ways you can support me are linked in the description below. And you could join the Discord. You could support me on Patreon. You can wishlist Alcamortis, all that good stuff. Thanks again, everyone, for being here, and especially welcome to the new faces in the chat. Appreciate you being here. And like I said earlier today, I'll be back at this Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I hope to see you there. And have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.